Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, when I graduated from college in 1971, I got a job in Trumbull, Connecticut, opening up a counseling center for teenagers called The Beacon. It was on this incredible piece of property with a nice two-story house where I lived. It had a very big yard beside the house. There were woods at the edge of the property and across the street. We had a big yard that we would play touch football in. And there was a garage that was converted into a coffee house where on weekends we'd have bands and folk singers, or sometimes we even showed movies there. There was also a really nice pond. There we played hockey on the pond and ice skated and during the winter. Didn't go swimming there during the summer, but and it had an ice house, a big ice house there that was a historical landmark there. So the property was really cool. And we had lots of activities, so it was a cool place for the kids to come out and hang out, and then you know, there were individual counseling and family counseling, encounter groups, things like that. It was a real asset to the community. So one Saturday night, the coffee house was open, and the place was hopping, you know, and a lot of kids, high school kids. Hey, it was something to do. We had good entertainment. Well, some kids came over from the next town, Monroe, Connecticut, and they had been drinking, which we didn't allow people to be drunk or high on the property, and they were looking to cause trouble, really. So we told them that they had to go. But a little bit after closing time, some of them came back. They had stolen some dynamite from a construction site, and they taped a cherry bomb to it, and they lit the fuse and threw it at the house and sped off. Now, the cherry bomb, when it went off, it didn't cause the dynamite to go off, so there was no damage done. So I ran out and I grabbed the dynamite and went back into the house and called the cops. Well, the kids turned around and came back and got out of their car, and they wanted their dynamite back. And that was just not going to happen. And I was pretty pissed off. And so we started to fight. But after a few minutes, the cops showed up, and the kids took off running for the woods. So I started chasing them. But it was dark, and the cops didn't know who was who. So they started chasing us, and one of the cops fired a shot over our heads. Let me tell you, when you hear a bullet whizzing by, even though it was pretty far over my head, that's still a sound that'll stop you in your tracks. So I stopped, and the kids stopped. But like I said, the cops didn't know who it was, so they tackled all of us, which I thought was hilarious. And matter of fact, the cop that tackled me was a guy that I had become friends with. And so when I turned over and said, "Hey, it's me," we both started laughing. And the next day there was an article in the Trumbull Times, I think that was the name of the paper, about the incident. And you know, I kind of basked in the glory of people thinking that I was a big hero. But deep down, I knew I really wasn't. You know, there wasn't any choice in anything that I had to do. I had to send the kids away from the place, or they would have caused some trouble and people might have got hurt. When they came back, I had to fight with them. There wasn't any choice about that. So I was just doing what I had to do. If you want a real hero, well, for me it's my dad. Now, he did serve in World War II, and I'm sure he didn't talk about it much, but I'm sure he was pretty brave. But the thing that made him my hero was something that I realized later on in life, how this guy went into work every day at a job he really didn't like. He worked in a textile mill, and it was loud and noisy and just I mean, let's face it, not a really exciting job. But he went in there every day to provide for his family. To me, that's just heroic, you know. And if you want to see heroes, just go ride on the bus with the people who are going to work every day, or look at the people around you sitting in traffic. You know, that's heroism. Thanks for listening.